Real Bad Arabs, Dr. Jack Shaheen's quest to challenge Hollywood's Muslim villains. Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners and fellow Muslim filmmakers. Welcome to the next episode in our series exploring the intersection of faith, media, and creativity. Today, we're examining a critical issue that affects all Muslim creators: the persistent vilification of Arabs and Muslims in Western media, and the groundbreaking work of one scholar who dedicated his life to challenging these harmful stereotypes. Have you ever watched a Hollywood blockbuster and winced at how Arabs or Muslims were portrayed? Have you felt that sinking feeling when yet another film presents people who look like you, pray like you, or share your cultural heritage as villains, terrorists, or caricatures? Today, we're exploring the remarkable work of Dr. Jack Shaheen, whose decades of research exposed how Hollywood has systematically dehumanized Arabs and Muslims, and how his insights can help us as Muslim filmmakers create a more just and authentic media landscape. The Scholar Who Counted the Villains. Dr. Jack Shaheen's journey began with a simple moment that many parents might recognize. In the late 1970s, his young children, Michael and Michelle, who were just 5 and 6 years old at the time, called out to him while watching television, "Daddy, Daddy, they've got bad Arabs on TV." This innocent observation from his children sparked what would become Dr. Shaheen's life's work, documenting, analyzing, and challenging the persistent negative stereotyping of Arabs and Muslims in American media. What makes Dr. Shaheen's work so powerful is its sheer scope and methodical approach. For his landmark book, Real Bad Arabs: How Hollywood Vilifies a People, he reviewed more than 1,000 films, from the earliest days of Hollywood to modern blockbusters. What he found was staggering: a consistent pattern of dehumanizing stereotypes that robbed an entire people of their complexity and humanity. As Dr. Shaheen himself put it, Arabs are the most maligned group in the history of Hollywood. They're portrayed basically as subhumans. Untermenschen, a term used by Nazis to vilify gypsies and Jews. This comparison to Nazi propaganda isn't made lightly. Dr. Shaheen recognized that when media consistently dehumanizes a group of people, it creates a dangerous environment where real-world discrimination and violence become more acceptable. Think about that for a moment. The same patterns used in some of history's most notorious propaganda campaigns were being replicated in the films we watch for entertainment, often without most viewers even noticing. The myths of Arabland. One of Dr. Shaheen's key insights was identifying what he called Arabland, a fictional, mythical theme park version of the Middle East that Hollywood has constructed and reinforced for over a century. This isn't the real Arab world, with its diverse cultures, religions, histories, and peoples. Instead, it's a collection of harmful stereotypes and visual cliches. In Hollywood's Arabland, we always start with the desert, portrayed not as a natural environment where millions of people have built civilizations for thousands of years, but as a threatening alien landscape. Add to this an oasis, palm trees, and a palace with a torture chamber in the basement. The ruler is always a pasha or sheikh sitting on plush cushions surrounded by harem maidens. When these women fail to please him, he abducts a blonde heroine from the West. As Muslim filmmakers, many of us have grown up seeing our cultures reduced to these harmful caricatures. We've watched as Hollywood costume departments outfit Arab characters with what Dr. Shaheen called the instant Alibaba kit: see-through pantaloons, belly-dancing outfits, long scimitars, magic carpets, and turban-wearing snake charmers. What's particularly troubling is how persistent these images are. As Dr. Shaheen noted, yesteryear's Arab land is today's Arab land. Even in modern films and television shows, these same tired stereotypes continue to appear. From buffoons to terrorists. Dr. Shaheen identified several recurring stereotypes of Arabs in Hollywood films. First, Arabs are often portrayed as buffoons, one-dimensional caricatures used as stock villains or for comic relief. Their only purpose is to deliver cheap laughs at the expense of an entire culture. Consider Disney's Aladdin, a film seen by millions of children worldwide. Despite being celebrated as one of Disney's finest accomplishments, it recycled every degrading stereotype from Hollywood's past. The film even opened with the lyrics, "Where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face, it's barbaric, but hey, it's home." After protests, Disney changed some lyrics for the home video release, but the damage was done and many problematic elements remained. Another persistent stereotype is the lecherous Arab man, obsessed with Western women. In films like Jewel of the Nile, Protocol, and Sahara, we see Arab characters kidnapping, imprisoning, or attempting to seduce white Western women. These portrayals reinforce the harmful notion that Arab men are predatory and dangerous, particularly to Western women. Perhaps most damaging is the stereotype of Arabs and Muslims as terrorists. This image, which gained particular prominence after the 1970s, has become so pervasive that it's now almost impossible to find a Hollywood film featuring Arab or Muslim characters who aren't somehow connected to terrorism or violence. Dr. Shaheen documented how even films that have nothing to do with the Middle East often inject Arab villains or gratuitous slurs. In Back to the Future, a film about time travel, we suddenly see ugly, inept Libyans with machine guns trying to kill the protagonists. In Father of the Bride Part 2, a family comedy, filmmakers inexplicably introduced Mr. Habib, a stereotypical Arab businessman who shouts gibberish at his submissive wife and tries to extort money from the main character. Politics and Hollywood's images. Dr. Shaheen identified three pivotal events that significantly shaped Hollywood's portrayal of Arabs and Muslims: the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, in which the United States has unequivocally supported Israel; the Arab oil embargo in the 1970s, which angered Americans when gas prices rose dramatically; and the Iranian Revolution, which increased Arab-American tensions when Iranian students took American diplomats hostage. These political events brought the Middle East into American living rooms and helped shape how movies stereotyped Arabs and the Arab world. As Dr. Shaheen observed, politics and Hollywood's images are linked. They reinforce one another. Policy enforces mythical images help enforce policy. One clear example is how Hollywood has portrayed Palestinians. Since the founding of Israel in 1948, American support has never wavered. Meanwhile, Hollywood has consistently depicted Palestinians as terrorists, making it seem as if all Palestinians are violent extremists. Films like Exodus, Cast a Giant Shadow, Black Sunday, and Death Before Dishonor present Palestinians solely as vicious gunmen and wide-eyed maniacs. Dr. Shaheen asked a profound question that we as Muslim filmmakers should consider. Why are we denied images of Palestinians who suffer under occupation? Palestinians in refugee camps? Palestinians who are victimized, who are killed? Innocent Palestinians? Is there an unwritten code in Hollywood saying we cannot and will not humanize Palestinians? And why can't we humanize Palestinians in the same manner in which we humanize Israelis? Is not the life of a Palestinian child, media-wise, Hollywood-wise, politically-wise, as important, as humane, as valuable as the life of an Israeli child? The impact on Arab and Muslim Americans. The stereotypes Dr. Shaheen documented don't just affect how non-Muslims view Arabs and Muslims. They also impact how Arab and Muslim Americans are treated in their own country. After the September 11th attacks, TV programmers made America's Arabs and Muslims visible in a new and troubling way, vilifying them as disloyal Americans and as threatening terrorists. Shows like 24, The West Wing, Hawaii 5-0, NCIS, Tyrant, Homeland, The Agency, Sleeper Cell, and The Unit expanded and embellished these stereotypes. As Dr. Shaheen noted in his 2008 book, Guilty: Hollywood's Verdict on Arabs After 9/11, Viewers were bombarded with images showing them as clones of Osama bin Laden. The real-world consequences of these portrayals are severe. After September 11th, hate crimes targeting Muslims or people who appeared to be Middle Eastern surged. Thousands of Muslim Americans were rounded up and detained without due process. Many people, particularly immigrants, lost their jobs, and profiling at airports became routine for Arab and Muslim Americans. Dr. Shaheen made a powerful observation about how differently we treat violence depending on who commits it. When Timothy McVeigh, who was Irish Catholic, bombed the federal building in Oklahoma City, no one suggested that his actions represented all Irish Catholics or all Christians. His religion and ethnicity weren't even mentioned in most reports. Yet when violence is committed by someone who is Arab or Muslim, their entire community is often held responsible. Challenging the stereotypes. Despite documenting thousands of negative portrayals, Dr. Shaheen remained hopeful. He believed that stereotypes could be challenged and changed through education, awareness, and the creation of more authentic representations. He highlighted films that managed to present Arabs and Muslims in their full humanity. Three Kings, a film on which Dr. Shaheen served as a consultant, revealed the complexities of Iraqi people during the First Gulf War, focusing on decent Iraqis that Saddam Hussein wanted to kill. Kingdom of Heaven, which focuses on the Crusades, showed Saladin as a respectful leader who valued religious tolerance, and Syriana presented an Arab prince as one of the film's few decent human beings, someone who wanted to bring democracy to his country. Dr. Shaheen also pointed to the power of comedy to shatter stereotypes. Just as Black comedians and Jewish comedians have used humor to challenge prejudice, Arab and Muslim comedians are now using laughter to release tension and humanize their communities. The key, according to Dr. Shaheen, is to humanize Arabs and Muslims, to project them as we project other people, no better, no worse. When we do this, the stereotypes gradually diminish. Lessons for Muslim filmmakers. So what can we, as Muslim filmmakers, learn from Dr. Jack Shaheen's decades of research and advocacy? How can his insights inform our creative work? First, we must recognize the power of media to shape perceptions, both positive and negative. The stereotypes Dr. Shaheen documented didn't emerge overnight. They were built film by film, show by show, over more than a century. Similarly, changing these perceptions will take time and consistent effort. Second, we can commit to creating authentic, nuanced portrayals of Muslims and Arabs in our own work. This doesn't mean presenting only positive images. That would simply be replacing one form of one-dimensionality with another. Rather, it means showing the full humanity of Muslim and Arab characters with all their complexities, flaws, strengths, and aspirations. Third, we can use Dr. Shaheen's research as a guide for what to avoid in our own storytelling. By understanding the harmful tropes and stereotypes he identified, we can ensure we don't inadvertently perpetuate them, even with the best intentions. For instance, if we're creating a film that includes Arab or Muslim villains, we can ensure they're not the only Arab or Muslim characters in the story. We can give them clear motivations beyond religious fanaticism. We can avoid visual cliches like the instant Alibaba kit that Dr. Shaheen described. Fourth, we can support and amplify the work of other Muslim filmmakers who are creating authentic representations. By building a community of creators committed to nuanced storytelling, we can collectively change the media landscape. The legacy of Dr. Shaheen. Dr. Jack Shaheen passed away in 2017, but his legacy lives on in his books, documentaries, and the countless filmmakers, scholars, and activists he inspired. His work reminds us that media representation isn't just about entertainment, it's about human dignity and justice. As Dr. Shaheen once said, real images have real impacts on real people. When we see ourselves reduced to caricatures and villains on screen, it affects how we see ourselves and how others see us. But when we see authentic, complex representations of our communities, it affirms our humanity and opens space for greater understanding. For Muslim filmmakers, Dr. Shaheen's work offers both a challenge and an opportunity. The challenge is to recognize and resist the harmful stereotypes that have dominated Western media for too long. The opportunity is to create new narratives that reflect the rich diversity and full humanity of Muslim and Arab communities around the world. Conclusion: creating new narratives. Brothers and sisters, Dr. Jack Shaheen's meticulous documentation of Hollywood's vilification of Arabs and Muslims isn't just an academic exercise, it's a call to action. By understanding how these harmful stereotypes operate, we can more effectively challenge them and create alternatives. As Muslim filmmakers, we have the power to tell our own stories, to present our communities in all their complexity and humanity. We can create characters who are neither saints nor villains, but fully realized human beings navigating the joys and challenges of life. We can show the diversity within Muslim communities, different cultures, traditions, perspectives, and practices. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best of people are those that bring most benefit to the rest of mankind." Through our creative work, we have the opportunity to benefit humanity by increasing understanding, challenging stereotypes, and creating art that affirms the dignity of all people. May Allah guide our creative endeavors and purify our intentions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.